Attention, Real Madrid fans. Here's a bombshell news item that could change the team's direction this preseason. Xabi Alonso is considering calling up a youth academy standout for the friendly in Austria, a decision that could open the door to a new era in the merengue midfield. But before we continue, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any news about the biggest club in the world. Here, you'll stay on top of everything happening both inside and outside the Santiago Bernabéu. Now, let's get to today's highlight. Following their 4-1 victory over Leganés in a closed-door friendly, Real Madrid is preparing to face WSG Tirol in Austria on August 12th. This will be the only official preseason friendly before the start of the 2025-26 La Liga season, and anticipation is growing, not just for the match itself, but for the potential presence of a young player who shone in the last game, Thiago Pitarch. Pitarch was simply one of the stars against Leganés. Playing in the midfield, he showed personality, refined technique, exceptional vision, and capped off his performance with an opportunistic goal. In addition, he was seen giving instructions to older teammates, something rare for a player his age, which drew even more attention from the coaching staff. His performance left Xabi Alonso impressed, and according to journalist Alvaro Esteban, there is a growing consensus that the coach might call him up for the friendly against Tirol. This would be a golden opportunity for the youngster, who is currently considered one of La Fabrica's greatest prospects. The coach of the Juvenile A team, Alvaro Arbeloa, has been fundamental in Pitarch's development, helping him evolve physically and tactically, as well as honing his decision-making under pressure. Now, it's up to Alonso to closely evaluate whether this talent can be incorporated and developed in a planned way to eventually join the first-team squad. It's worth remembering, this isn't the first time a youth player has caught attention in a friendly and gone on to earn a place in the squad. Cases like Carvajal, Nacho, and Lucas Vázquez show that when a player seizes an opportunity like this, they can build a solid career at Real Madrid. Pitarch knows that a strong performance against Tirol could be a turning point in his career, possibly accelerating a leap that might have taken years. Since his arrival, Xabi Alonso has shown a special focus on the club's young players. The contract renewal of Gonzalo Garcia until 2030, with the right to wear the main team's number 16 jersey, is proof of this. In Pitarch's case, it's still too early to talk about a professional contract, but a good showing against Tirol could accelerate his rise through the academy, increase his internal visibility, and put him on the first team's radar in the not-so-distant future. This policy of valuing the youth academy could be one of the hallmarks of the Xabi Alonso era at Real Madrid. While the board invests heavily in elite signings, it also ensures that the talents developed at Valdebebas have real opportunities to prove their worth. For a club that has always blended big-name signings with homegrown talent, giving space to players like Pitarch means planning for the future without abandoning tradition. More than just an economic or necessary choice, it's a philosophy that has already borne fruit and keeps the merengue identity alive. Now, shifting our focus to the transfer market, another hot story is making headlines. Real Madrid is eyeing a major reinforcement for the midfield, Portuguese player Vitinia, currently at Paris Saint-Germain. According to information from the newspaper Marca, Vitinia was a key player in PSG's historic 2024-25 campaign, helping the club win its first Champions League. At 25, he has established himself as one of the best midfielders in the world, being decisive in both creativity and defensive duties. His game reading, ability to break lines, and passing accuracy make him an extremely complete and adaptable player to different tactical systems. His contract with PSG has a release clause of €90 million, which becomes active in the European summer of 2026. Real Madrid, however, is already considering making a move early and trying to finalize a deal for next year, with the goal of securing a true maestro for the central midfield, something that will become even more necessary given the changes in the squad. If it happens, Vitinia's arrival would give Xabi Alonso a new piece to elevate the team's play, especially considering that Luka Modric is in his final season and Toni Kroos has already retired. With a midfield composed of Vitinia, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, and Bellingham, Real Madrid would have not only youth but also the quality to dominate European football for years, maintaining a balance between physical vigor and tactical intelligence. It's worth remembering that over the past decade, Real Madrid has made major investments in elite midfielders, but always with a long-term view. This was the case with Modric in 2012, Kroos in 2014, and more recently with Bellingham. The potential arrival of Vitinia would fit into this line of surgical signings that not only solve immediate problems but also build the foundation for a successful cycle. Meanwhile, the club is also dealing with a curious situation in the transfer market for outgoing players. According to Marca, 2 squad players are on the radar of clubs in Saudi Arabia: defender David Alaba and midfielder Dani Ceballos. The Saudi interest is part of a strategy to attract well-known names from European football to their local league. However, in Alaba's case, the Austrian has made it clear that he intends to fulfill the final year of his contract with Real Madrid, staying in Madrid until at least June 2026. Ceballos has another destination in mind. If he leaves the club, he prioritizes a return to Real Betis, the team where he rose to prominence before being signed by the Merengues. This means that, despite interest from the Middle East, the chances of seeing them leave for there in this window are slim. From a sporting perspective, Alaba's permanence could be useful for Xabi Alonso, who will need depth in the defensive sector. The Austrian may no longer be at his peak, but his versatility to play as a centre-back or left-back can still be valuable in key games and provide stability in high-pressure moments. On the other hand, Ceballos continues to lack playing time and may end up leaving the club soon if the right opportunity arises. His presence without the prospect of minutes could be detrimental to both parties, and a transfer to Betis could revitalize his career and put him back on the map of Spanish football. Returning to the initial point, it's interesting to see how these 3 fronts, young talents like Pitarch, major signings like Vitinia, and potential departures like Alaba and Ceballos, are all interconnected in Real Madrid's strategy. The academy secures the future, big signings raise the team's immediate level, and well-planned departures help to create space and resources for new arrivals. Ultimately, squad management is a puzzle that Florentino Perez and Xabi Alonso seem to be putting together with great care, always balancing the present and the future. And fans should get used to a Real Madrid that, each season, seeks to balance sporting planning with media impact. After all, signings like Vitinia attract global attention, while bets on youngsters like Pitarch reinforce the club's historical identity. This combination is what keeps Real at the top, not just by winning, but also by inspiring new generations. Now, I want to hear from you, the fans. Do you think Pitarch deserves this chance against Tyrol? Do you believe Vitinia would be the perfect piece for the merengue midfield? And, in your opinion, should Alaba and Ceballos stay or go in this window? Leave your comment below, like this video, and share it with other Madridistas to help the channel grow. Thanks for watching, Madridista. I'll see you next time, with much more news about Real Madrid.